Hi and welcome to Andy's Motorhomes. I'm Andy and today in the latest instalment of our handover videos we're going to look at this Malibu T-410. We hope you find it informative. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start on the outside of the van and we're going to work our way in. But the first thing we need to look at is just inside the passenger door where you have your bonnet release just here. Next, we have your fuel filler that works off your ignition key and your AdBlue tank just there. Then we have the double skinned floor that runs throughout the length of the motorhome. Now the beauty with this is, one, obviously it gives you a lot more storage space, but also because you've got the heating in here, it acts like underfloor heating coming up, and of course you get a lot less road noise as well. Gas locker just here with the twin pigtails and the crash sensors just there. Freshwater tank filler. And your large garage. Now the beauty of the garage isn't obviously just the fact of the size of it, it's also the fact that it'll take 250 kilograms in weight. Now with the T410 as well, you'll see when we're inside the van, you've got a hatch underneath the bed which will give you access to the garage, which is fantastic. We carry on round. We have your reversing camera just up there. Again, door either side for the garage, and we do have your awning brace on the far wall. Again, it's all heated in here. Electric hookup point. And cassette toilet. Now, if you've never used a cassette toilet before, the most important thing is to start off with the toilet itself, which we'll see when we're inside the van. There's a blade that goes across the bowl. Now that's to open and close. Now, for obvious reasons, the toilet has to be closed for you to be able to take the cassette out. And when you do that, you just unclip from here, slide it out. You then take that to on the campsite, they'll have what they call an Alson point, and an Alson point is where you dispose of the waste from your chemical toilets. Unscrew the top, take that off, you have this orange button on the back, and what you do when you're pouring that way to the Alson point, just press that, it lets the air flow through so it doesn't glug all over the place. So you flush away, flush through with the hose, flush away again, add your new toilet chemical directly into the cassette, whether you're using the green or whether you're using the blue. You don't want to pour it down the toilet because it is very strong and it will stain. Put that directly straight into the cassette, pop that back into there, job done. Then of course, just here we have your fridge vents and here we have the flue for your heating. Let's take a look inside. Okay, so we're going to start in the cab. So first of all, on the driver's door, we have your electric wing mirrors just here, electric windows just there, to lock or unlock your doors just here. Wash wipes, headlights and indicators, cruise control. Obviously you've got your 6-speed box there where you do need to lift the collar to go into reverse. Then just here we have your tablet or phone holder. So again, you can then Bluetooth that through to your media center. You also have a USB charger and a 12-volt charger just there. When you're putting these back, clip those in, lock it back down. Now, with your media center, obviously when you've got your ignition on, it will work like it would do in a standard car, but also it does work from your entertainment button on your 12-volt control panel, which I'll show you when we use the 12-volt controls. But again, basically on the front, as you can see, you've got your radio, your CD, you've got your memory sticks, your DAB, your mirror screening. If you press on that button there, it will also take you through to your sat nav. Press on the center button, it'll just take you directly back to the home screen. Underneath, we've got your cab air conditioning just here, and we've got your heater controls. Traction plus, hill descent, hazards, again to lock or unlock your doors, and your heated mirrors just there. Over on this side, we have your USBs just there for your media center, and we also have your cool box, which will work in conjunction with your cab air conditioning. So again, if you've got a bar of chocolate or a bottle of water, something you want to keep cool, pop that into there, keep it nice and cool for you. Then we have the window blinds and the side window blinds. So with the side ones, you just pinch, Try and keep this as straight as you can. Pops across on the magnet. When you bring it back, again, keep it straight. When you get to this last part, just tuck in and clip it into place. When we're doing the windscreen, again, you pinch and pull. Can be a little sticky sometimes. There we go. Now, something that is very important with these is if you turn up on a site late of an evening, what you can sometimes find is you pull them together. Because it's a strong magnet, it might only be attached a certain way up. You start moving around the van, this can happen, which is the last thing you want. So again, put an elastic band or a hair bobble or something like that around it. It'll just stop any embarrassing incidents. Pop them back. There we go. Very important as well, make sure you do clip them in properly, otherwise you'll be turning a corner, that'll come across directly in front of your face. Now, also both captain seats swivel. Now you'll see there's a catch just here. So to swivel, pull, you spin. Now you may need to bring the seat slightly forward or back when you're spinning it round. Like so, and then the seat is fully adjustable. There are these two catches just here. So the front one, adjust the front of the seat, back one for the back, and then it works like on a rocker system to get you into the perfect position. You also have the wheel just here for the backrest, and we have the wheels on the armrests just there. And there we have your cab. Next we come to your lounge area. So the first thing to remember with your lounge is you do have your extra 2 travel seats just here. Now to be able to utilise those properly, what you do need to do, take this cushion away just here. This cushion needs to come away. And there's a board underneath that that'll come across, and then it means you've got enough leg room for your 2 passengers. Also in your lounge, you have this table. Now the table's fully adjustable, you can move it to where you want it. Also the table's top will spin around 360 degrees. This then becomes the base of your single berth. And to do that, you get basically into position, then you lift. Then it will allow you to drop it down. So when you're dropping it down, you just lock just there. You then have this piece of extra mattress, which goes on top. And there you have your single bed. So next we're going to come to your 12-volt control panel, your heating, and obviously we've got your Truma Duo controls just here. With your 12-volt control panel, this button here turns it on and off. Lights. Now when we were in the cab we were talking about your media. That's just that button there. So again, that will then put your stereo system on. It'll also put your TV onto standby. Underneath we have your water pump, which again, whenever you're using any of your water systems, you must have your water pump on. Over here, that's your leisure battery, fresh water tank, wastewater tank, vehicle battery. Nice and easy to use. Then we have your heating. So with your heating, press this button here, and it comes on, press it again, and then you have your options. So the first one is your temperature. And you can take that anywhere up to 30 degrees. When you get to the temperature that you want, press that button in and then it will lock it in place. Next one is your water, where you have a choice of Eco, which is 40 degrees, Hot, which is 60, or Boost, which will prioritise your hot water over everything else. Now this is just a gas only system on this particular vehicle, so you don't have to worry about what you're going to put it onto with electric or gas. It will automatically go straight onto your gas systems. Next we have your vent, where again you have a choice of off or vent, and that will take that up to number 10, and that's literally how much air you're pushing through your vents at any one given time. Then we have your timer, which again, if you like to get up to 7 o'clock in the morning, you can set your heating to come on at 6, so it's lovely and warm when you get up. Then we have your clock, and to adjust the clock, you just move round, press the button when you're happy with the time, and there you go. Then we have your settings. So you can offset the screen, the temperature can be changed from degrees to Fahrenheit, the brightness of your control panel, 12 or 24-hour clock, language, index, which I'll come back to in a second, and reset. So if you get a glitch in the system, you can reset it. So index, if you do something wrong or there's an issue with your system, a warning triangle will come up here. If you go onto it and press it, it'll give you a code. Those codes will be stored in the index. So again, any technician could have a look and see what issues you've been having with your heating system. But also you can go onto Truma's website and they will have that code on there. So it could be something as simple as you forgot to turn your gas on and you're trying to run your heating system. Again, when you're not using it, keep your finger just on there, and then that will turn off the system. So it'll take it off standby and using any power. Now with your TV, as we've already got the entertainment on, you'll see you've got the blue light just on there, so it means it's on standby. We press the button. Now we don't get a great signal in here, but hopefully we'll pick something up. Now the one thing to remember with your TV, there we go, just on there, let's knock that off. One thing you do have to remember is, obviously with it being a TV aerial, it means you do have to retune when you're moving into a different area, as it'll pick up the local antenna. But that's easy enough to do, no different to your television at home. And of course, we'll get Tony to turn around now, and as you can see again, we do have your stereo system on. If I now knock off the entertainment button, that will knock off your stereo and also your TV. So when we were outside the van, we were talking about the in-floor storage, which I'm going to go into in a second. But first of all, I just want to show you this, where you have your shoe rack just there. It's a little thing, but it is really quite handy. Then we come into these large storage areas. Press the two buttons there, lift up. Now as you can see, masses of space in there. But more importantly, you have these three controls. That one there is to drain down your wastewater tank, and these two are for your boiler. Now at the moment, because you can see you've got the little button out there, and this is up in the air, it means that the boiler is open. So if you start pumping water through your system, all it's going to do is come directly from your fresh water tank and end up falling straight over the floor. So if we want to seal your boiler, we flick that switch down there, we turn that blue catch on the top, and we press that in. Now if you put water in your fresh water tank, you put on your water pump, it's going to go directly through your boiler, and then obviously you're going to have no issue with it coming out of your taps. This has got a sensor on it with the blue, and what it'll mean is if it gets down to around about 2 degrees, that's going to happen, and it's going to automatically drain down your boiler system for you. So again, it's something it will do, but it's something you really want to remember. If you're not using your van, if you know there's going to be the risk of frost, drain down your system and you'll have no issues. So next one we will come to is we have a small storage area just here, and then next we just open this up, we have access to your water tanks. Now in all fairness, there's not too much you have to worry about just in there, but under the step here it's pretty difficult to see really on the video, but there is a little wheel in there, which is the wheel that you open up to drain down your fresh water tank. Not particularly easy to see, but it is there. And then we have your tanks. So now we come to your kitchen area. So the first thing, just up here, you have your coffee maker. Now that runs off 230 volts, so you must be plugged into the mains for that to work. Then of course, we have your 3 gas hobs just here. Sink, again, for that to work you must have water in your system, you must have the water pump on and the boiler closed to be able to put any water through the system. You'll also see with the cover just here, will also turn into a chopping board. Also it locks into the wall just there, and you have a shelf. Now just here of course you've got your gas oven. Again, you must have your gas on for that to be running. In here we have your gas isolator switches for all your appliances. So again, if you were to have a gas leak, you can knock them off from here. It's going to stop the gas getting through to that particular system. Also you have your cutlery in there, storage, more storage, and your bin just there, and some more storage just there. Now before we do your fridge freezer, we have a wardrobe just here. But one thing I do want to show you with the wardrobe is just down there, you'll notice you have your trip switches. So they're a little bit out of the way, so it's important just to point those out. So your fridge freezer. Now it's a 3-way fridge freezer, but the first thing to show you is that you can open it from this side or from this side. And then we have your controls just here. So turn on from there. Now, as you can see at the moment, it's coming on for electric because we're plugged into the mains. Now, with the mode button here, you have a choice of going through what you want to be on. Now, auto is what most people would do, and it should sense the systems and do what is right. If we press to go onto battery there, you're going to notice the warnings coming up. It's going to tell us we can't do that because the engine isn't running. If we go onto gas, it's going to do the same thing because we've got no gas running through the system at the moment. So if we come back onto auto, it will automatically put us then onto electric hookup. Now, the first thing to tell you about this is quite simple. Most people, when it comes to a three-way fridge freezer, you're going to understand, obviously, electric is if you're plugged into the mains. Same with gas, it's going to work if you're plugged into the bike, if you've got your gas turned on. But battery is the one that will confuse a lot of people because you would assume that battery means leisure battery. It doesn't. It actually means it's working off your vehicle battery, which means you must have the engine running before you can put it on there. Otherwise, it's just going to come up with the warning triangle and a fault code, and it's going to tell you can't do that. And then, of course, just here, we have your temperature controls. And there we have your kitchen. So in your bathroom, I mean, the first thing to tell you about, of course, is we have this shower cubicle just here. Now, you have a little clip just at the top. You need to release that, bring these two round. That piece goes to there. Slide it round, and it will just lock into place. Now, when you're bringing it back, again, you must remember to pop that one in first before you lock it off. Otherwise, when you're traveling, that's going to be sliding around all over the place and making all sorts of noise. You'll also see you've got a skylight just here. You've got this handy bar that goes across the top of the shower. Great if you've got wet towels or wet coats, something you want to drip down into the shower tray. Then, of course, we have storage here and here. Your sink just there. Then we have your cassette toilet. Now, again, you'll remember when we were outside the van, we were talking about the blade. You can see at the moment that the blade is closed, which allowed us to take the cassette out. We have a grey handle underneath. If I push that across, it will open up the blade. Now, the only reason you want the blade open is literally if you're using the toilet. Apart from that, keep it closed. It'll stop any smells coming back up, and again, it means you've got easy access to your cassette. Also, you can move the toilet in all directions so you can get to the most comfortable position. Then here we have your electric flush, which again, you must have water in your system. You must have your water pump on to be able to use that. If your cassette is full, a little light will just come on there. So again, you'll know that you then need to empty that down. So a moment ago, we were talking about your trip switches, which are in your wardrobe. But the other important thing to show you, of course, is your fuse board, which is underneath the passenger seat, just here. So next we're going to talk about your skylights and windows. But before we do that, I do want to show you this. Now, if one of you wants to go to bed early, or again, likes to get up late, you can get privacy by just unattaching here. Slide this piece of the wall around. Your toilet door shuts off, and it will give you complete privacy from the front habitation area on the van. Again, when you bring it back, just make sure you clip that back in properly, else when you're traveling, it'll come flying out. So next, we go on to your windows. Now, on the windows, you'll see you've got these little buttons on the catches. Press that and lift, and you just push them out. Now, the thing that's most important with your windows and your skylights is obviously when you're traveling, they must be closed. They are plastic. If they catch the wind, they'll be gone. So again, you bring it back in, clip them into place. Then we have your blinds at the bottom, fly screen at the top. So again, it'll work very similar if we come just over here with your skylights. So as you can see, we have the skylight here. Again, make sure that's closed when you're traveling. And if we pull this side across, you have your blind, and this side we have your fly screen. So there we have the handover video for you on the Malibu T-410. I really hope you found it informative. We do have a selection of other handover videos with other makes of motorhomes on our YouTube channel, Edwards Motorhomes. Please do have a look on there. Thank you very much.